Boom! What's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Whoa, what happened? What happened today? We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it all down here on this live stream. My name is Michael Edward, former award-winning hedge fund trader, now the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. And I've been doing this, guys, now for over 16 years. And I began my career working at a hedge fund in New York City. It's my first job right out of college. That was 2007. And then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession and the stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. I'm now the, like I said, head trader and co-founder of True Trading Group, guys, and with my team of 8 other professional trading mods and over 20-person staff, we've helped thousands of people to learn, trade, and profit consistently from all over the world. True Trading Group is the fastest growing and highest rated online premium educational platform that combines university-level education and trading courses with premium stock market tools, workshops, and mentorship on stocks, options, future, crypto, but for all styles of trading, day trading, swing trading, and also, yes, even long-term investing. At TGG, we take our university-level curriculum and we combine that with today's top financial tools that are worth over $5,000 a year. And then we give you access to 10,000 of the most educated, active, supportive, and successful community of traders and investors. And of course, all of our real-time trade alerts from myself and the 8 other professional trading mods that we have in True Trading Group. And I also mentioned that we have consistently been able to maintain a cumulative win rate against all the mods of around 80% for the last 2 years. We also leave no trader behind at True Trading Group. More on that in a bit. If you're new to the True Trading Group YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, smash the like button, share this stream on your own social media. Let's reach out and empower as many retail traders and investors as we possibly can. But for those of you that are just joining us, like I said, welcome. On this live stream, we're going to be covering what happened in the stock market today. Huge down day, right? Big gap down, went lower. What happened? Everybody was so excited last week. What happened? What's changed? I'm going to answer all those questions for you guys. I told you this was coming. Okay, but we're also going to talk about AMC, APE, Bed Bath & Beyond, right? Some other small caps. You had the APE, the preferred equity for AMC that started trading today. And obviously that had some ramifications, and we're going to talk about that. Big moves to the downside on both APE and AMC. We'll talk about that, and we'll answer all your questions regarding that here today as well. Then we're going to be talking the Jackson Hole meeting. Jackson Hole meeting at the end of this week is the single most important economic event of the entire year. We are going to get insight from the Federal Reserve before the September Fed meeting. Understand this. If you trade or invest in the market, I don't care what you trade or what you invest in or what style that you implement, this meeting and specifically the speech by Jerome Powell himself will affect you because it will directly affect the overall markets and the entire sentiment in the market and the entire directions that the markets are going to take for the entire rest of the year. The eyes and ears of every single trader and investor on planet Earth is going to be fixated on the Jackson Hole meeting at the end of this week. Now, leading up to this meeting, there's going to be a lot of volatility in an already volatile market, like you saw today. Huge increase in volatility today with a massive move to the downside and a big spike in the VIX. The VIX is the volatility index. It actually tracks volatility in the market, and the VIX up about 17% today. So you're getting that increase in volatility in what is already a very volatile market. Right now, volatility will forever be a trader's best friend. Volatility equals opportunity. More volatility, the bigger moves you have, the more opportunity you guys have to make money. I'm going to give you my game plan for the rest of this week on how I'm going to be positioning myself and the TGD fam within True Trading Group so that we have the best chance no matter actually what happens at this meeting. I don't really care if the markets go up or down following this meeting. I'm going to give you what I think is going to happen. Of course, I will tell you exactly what I think is actually going to happen. But even if I'm wrong about that and the markets go up, the markets go down, it really doesn't matter because there's going to be enough volatility there to be able to capitalize on those movements and leave us as traders with phenomenal trading opportunities like you saw in the markets there today. All right, we're going to make money off of that this week, regardless of what the direction actually is. But I will give you my entire prediction around that in just a bit. But before we go any further, I want to ask everybody that's on this slash, I want to ask you a very serious question. Does today make you feel uneasy? Did today make you feel scared with the markets down as much as they were today? Do you feel uncomfortable with the current market predictions or market conditions? Do you? This is not a rhetorical question. Like, I really want to know if today made you feel uncomfortable. Because a lot of people are looking around at the markets today and they're completely blindsided. They completely are caught off guard by the move that you had to the downside. Okay. If only someone told you weeks ago that this exact situation was going to happen at this exact time, and that you would actually be feeling scared and uneasy. Well, guess what? I told you that literally weeks ago. I told you, buyer beware. I gave you a buyer beware warning just last week. And I told you, I'm expecting a pullback back off of this level that takes the S&P back underneath 4,000. We're all the way back. Okay, guys, this 4,100 area. You had 413, 414 on the SPY. I do think there's a lot more area here for a lot more, runway for this pullback. But I also very specifically told you that when this pullback comes, it's going to feel scary. And a lot of people right now are looking at the markets today and they feel scared. They feel uncomfortable. I've been yelling from the rooftops to you guys to get educated. Okay, get ready. You're all about to get another chance. Another chance at what? You might be asking. Another chance at what? What are you talking about? Great question. To get educated, to get prepared, to take advantage of the trading that is in this extremely volatile and opportunistic filled market, but also to get ready to actually have another chance to add in your long-term portfolios. Now, I added in my long-term portfolios on June 17th. I also added a little bit on May 10th, but the bulk of my money actually went into the markets on June 17th. Now, on June 17th, that just so happens to be right now the dead low of the year. Now, there's a lot of debate on whether or not that low of the year is going to actually hold. I, for one, believe that that low of the year will hold. There's only really one scenario or two scenarios. One is just really super far out there. But one more possible scenario that's going to result, that I think could result in the lows from June actually breaking. But I do believe that those lows, maybe they get tested, but I do think that they are safe. But a lot of people did not add on June 17th when I did, even though I announced it very publicly on my live stream. And I told members of True Trading Group, very specifically, the exact stocks that I bought on June 17th. I told members that inside of True Trading Group, but still a lot of people didn't because they were scared at that moment, right? The sky was full and the stock was in a complete free fall. So a lot of people were too scared to do so. But now in this recent rally, everybody asked me, once the markets got back to 430, everybody asked me, like, Mike, should I buy now? No. I told everybody that you should not be buying now because, as we take a look, and I'll pull up my charts just real quick, just so you guys can just kind of see what I'm talking about, right? June 17th is literally right there. And that's when I added in my long-term portfolio. And then a lot of people didn't because the markets looked terrible at that time. If you look, that's what the market looked like. Does that look like, hey, yeah, let's rip higher? Well, no, it didn't look like it at the time. Didn't feel like it at the time. But turns out that was actually the low of a pretty strong rally. And then all of a sudden I start getting questions from people here on should I buy now? And my answer to those people the last 2 weeks, because I've gone over this on these live streams for the last 2 weeks, my answer was no, right? And I gave you a buyer beware that I said, you're going to get another pullback. Okay. That pullback is coming. I expect that pullback. And this pullback is even starting even earlier than I anticipated it was going to start. I thought maybe this would start kind of the end of August, the beginning of September, but nonetheless, you have a very important catalyst coming up at the end of this week. And that's the Jackson Hole meeting. And the volatility is beginning here in front of that. If you missed your opportunity, if you missed adding to your long-term portfolio at this point in time, and you've been feeling like you're chasing the markets higher, I believe that you are going to get a chance, another chance to add in your long-term portfolio, as I believe the market is going to experience a bit of a pullback over the next probably 3 to 4 weeks. All right. I'm looking to short rallies, and we're looking to be on the side of downward weakness in the overall market. And that's how we plan on making money from all of this action. Right. So if you miss the long-term portfolio ad, like when myself and a lot of the TTG members jumped in on June 17th, how many TTG members, how many of you added on June 17th with me? How many of you caught the low of the year with me on June 17th? TTG members, you guys can just comment in chat if you actually caught the low of the year with me on June 17th. I'd love to actually see how many people got some money into the markets on June 17th, all the way down there at the lows. Congratulations to all of you that did. But for those of you that didn't, I know there's many of you that did not. I know many of you told me I was stupid at that point in time because you thought the markets were going to go down 80%. And I do not believe the market's going to go down 80%, but I do believe that they're going to experience a bit more of a pullback. And if you did not enter anything in June, I believe that that pullback will give you an opportunity to grab some stuff down in this region as we work our way down here in the end of August and then going into September. And the Jackson Hole meeting has a lot to do with it, right? Listen to me carefully, guys, because we're going to do a deep dive into all of this. But what you need to understand is that this is the greatest stock market environment for trading and long-term investing opportunities that I've really seen here. That combination of those two things, it's one of the best opportunities that I've seen in my entire career. And I've been doing this for a long time, guys. You know, I traded through the 2008 Great Recession. I traded through the 15, 16 growth scare. I went through obviously the 18 rate hike scare. I went through the COVID crash of 2020, the chaos and unrealistic valuation rally and liquidity rally of 2021, and now the inflation and rate hike fears of 2022. I've seen a lot and I've been through a lot. Right. And this is one of the best environments that I've ever seen, but I don't think that this is going to last. It's not normal that you see small caps, mid caps, large caps, commodities, everything making very large moves on any given day to provide traders with opportunity in all different corners and areas of the market. Usually you don't have all areas of the market start to do, you know, giving you these type of opportunities. Usually you'll have maybe one or two areas, there's a lot of volatility. In the other areas, things are pretty quiet, especially in July and August when the markets are typically slow because it's summer and a lot of people go on vacation and volume dries up. Not this year. This year, yeah, volume is lighter, but the volatility is actually higher than it is normally. And I don't think that is going to last. You know, in fact, I know for a fact that it's not going to last. This is the opportunity, literally right here, right now. And I've been saying this for weeks, months. Essentially all of 2022, and hopefully all of you non-TGD members will realize what our current TGD members already do, and that is that this is not just some narrative on this live stream. This is fact, and it proves itself consistently on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. You know, you just take a look at some of the recent wins that I've had here in just the month of August, like GCT, 24%, BWV, 22%. BRDN like 15, MEGL 25 or something, VEE 23%, APDN 22, AMTD 22, right? Or 24 was AMTD, HKD 83%. I mean, these are just some of the recent trades that I've made just over the last couple of weeks. And that doesn't include a lot of the large cap trades or a lot of the mid cap trades, a lot of the index like SPY options and a lot of those particular trades, and also trades from the 8 other professional trading moderators that are in True Trading Group, because we're all giving you all of our trades and all of our analysis in real time. It doesn't matter how busy you are, how much money you have to start with. This market's providing opportunity for you. And if you're sitting on the sidelines right now because you're scared of what's going to happen, or if you're uneasy, or if you're uncomfortable, okay, I'm telling you right now, that's going to cost you. It's going to cost you big time. And many of you will watch this live stream probably right now, and many of you have probably looked back at 2020 and said, oh, I wish I bought in 2020. Many of you look back in 2008 and you go, oh, I wish I bought in 2008. And then, you know, a year or two from now, you're going to look back, you're going to say, shit, I wish I bought in 2022. Stop saying I wish and start saying, man, I'm glad. Now, listen, let's also be very transparent when we have these live streams. Yes, I just talked to you about a bunch of winning trades that we've had inside True Trading Group. And we have a hell of a lot more winners than we do losers, you know, maintaining about nearly an 80% win rate over the last 2 years between myself and the other 8 professional traders as our cumulative win rate amongst all of us once you combine everything together. But we also do have losing trades, okay? And at TTD, we celebrate the wins, we learn from them, but we also acknowledge the losses, we learn from them as well. Risk management, trader psychology, huge focuses at True Trading Group. Anyone can be taught to read a chart, set a scanner, or to follow a trade alert, but controlling your emotions and your risk is special. And that's really the differentiator between successful traders and struggling traders, is controlling your emotions and controlling your risk. Most people struggle with these aspects of trading. Most people, once they've taught how to read a chart, they can determine, if I say, hey, take a look at this chart, is the stock going to go up or down? Most people, after they receive some type of formal education, can, with a greater than 50% accuracy, tell me if it's going to go up or down. but yet they're still not able to capitalize on the price action, the movement. Why? Because of their emotions and because of their risk management. Now, this is why we have courses, workshops, even support groups within True Trading Group on these exact topics, because these are the things that can help you guys become successful. We leave no trader behind in True Trading Group, right? Yes, most members in TTG are doing very well. Now, but that doesn't mean every member is doing well. Again, I'm fully transparent here, guys, when we talk about these things. We got to talk about the wins. We got to talk about the losses. Yes, most of our members are making money, but there's some members that are still struggling. And for those, we hold red to green workshops, which is where members can actually submit questions and topics that they're having a hard time with, and they can send them to us. And we will actually host a live 2-hour-long workshop covering those exact topics. But we actually just had one yesterday. We literally just had one yesterday. TTG members that are on this live stream, if any of you got a chance to attend the Red to Green workshop yesterday, how was it? Was it amazing? Was it helpful? Was it educational? You guys feel better about your struggles and the hurdles, and you're able to overcome some stuff? You guys feel better prepared? If you guys attended yesterday's Red to Green workshop, comment in chat. Tell me how it was. Tell me if you enjoyed it. Let them know. We leave no trader behind in True Trading Group. Trading can be a very lonely thing, guys. You can feel like you're kind of out there on an island all by yourself sometimes, but when you join the TTG family, you're not. You're joining a community of 10,000 traders and investors from all over the world that genuinely give a damn whether you succeed or fail, that will be there with you through the highs and the lows, that'll be there with you to celebrate the wins, but also to pick you up and help you through the losses, and to celebrate your milestones and to help you overcome your hurdles and struggles, because that is what a real trading family is all about. And that's what True Trading Group is. And that's what you get access to when you join us. TTG exists literally to help you to learn, trade, and profit on a consistent basis. It's our primary goal, and we're actually damn good at continuously achieving it. You see, since 2016, we've been helping thousands of traders and investors of all types, styles, backgrounds, and experience levels become successful. And by successful, I mean make money, right? That's why you're here. You're not here to watch somebody else make money. You're here for you to actually make money. And the majority of our members are doing exactly that. Watch. Guys, I'm talking to members specifically for this. If you are a member of True Trading Group, do me a favor and just type the $ in chat if you're making money and becoming better traders because of True Trading Group. Just go ahead and type the $ if that is the case, right? If you are a member, you're making money, you're becoming a better trader, type the $. Now, for anyone that's not a member, my advice at this moment is to not even pay attention to me, but to pay attention to how many people are about to type the $ on this side of the screen. These people are your peers. These people found True Trading Group in the exact same way that you did, and that was finding us on one of these live streams, whether it was something that was shown to them on social media, suggested by a friend, or maybe YouTube suggested to you. In that case, send an email to Google and say, thank you very much for landing me on the True Trading Group YouTube channel, because that's how these people found us. They had all the same excuses that you had, right? Small account, full-time job, no experience, lost money before in the market. But yet now here they are typing the $ and telling you that they're making money and that they're becoming better traders. If they can do it, so can you. There's nothing special about these people. They're not smarter than you. They don't have more money than you. They don't have more time than you. They've got all the same struggles and hurdles that are standing in their way, but yet here they are now reaching their goals. Our goal is to make you money, guys. Now let's start this stream with having a very real conversation about making money and about building wealth. And make no mistake, these environments that you're in right now, when stock prices go down, that is when real wealth is built. Real wealth is built during that time. Money is made when stocks go up. Wealth is built when stocks go down. Now, what do I mean by that? How's it even possible? Yeah, sure. Last year, a lot of people could have made a lot of money on things like NFTs and crypto and meme stocks and all of these other things, right? It seems like anything you bought yet last year just went up. Well, now you're realizing that things don't just go up. Right now, you're realizing that things do go down, that they go back up, and they go down, and they go back up again. But in order for you to build wealth, you need bear markets. The whole concept of making money in the stock market, right, is buy low, sell high. Well, it's pretty hard to buy low if everything is sitting at an unrealistic, unsustainable valuation at an all-time high, right? How can you buy low when Zoom video is at $350 a share? Yo, shout out to Trader TV Live. Yes, Bears versus Bulls. What's up, man? Welcome. Big shout out to the guys and great traders over at Trader TV Live, the whole crew over there. Big shout out to Trader TV Live, guys. Bears Bulls, welcome to the live stream. All right, welcome to the live stream. But like I said, when you're looking for opportunities in the long-term portfolio, wealth is generated when you actually get these sell-offs in stocks. And it's the traders and it's the investors that have the wherewithal and the knowledge to understand when it is time to actually start putting that money to work. That is when wealth is built over the long run, right? Instead of just making quick little money, that's when wealth is generated. Now, we're in a very, very different kind of recession right now, right? Like we're in a technical recession. The definition, 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. We got that this year. That's a technical definition of a recession. But it's a recession unlike anything that we've ever experienced before. Yes, inflation's high. A lot of signs do point, though, that inflation has peaked, and some things like gasoline prices and some food prices have actually started to come down. Yes, interest rates are rising, but now there's a chance that the rate of that rise can actually be slower than people may have thought. And we're actually going to find a lot of that information out this week when Jerome Powell speaks at Jackson Hole. We're going to get some insight into the speed of those rate hikes and how far they're going to go. But lastly, jobs numbers still remain way above average and very positive. All right, the labor market remains still extremely tight. For every unemployed person out there, you still have just under 2 open job positions that are out there for anyone that's looking for a job. Now, this means that the consumer, despite all of the doom and gloom that you're reading about that's being perpetuated on the news, is in fact the consumer is actually still very stably employed, with unemployment still sitting at 3.5%. That's a 5-decade low. Now, yes, of course, the jobs market is going to soften. I expect that 3.5% unemployment number to go up, but not at a rate that's going to be comparable to something that you saw during 2008. But yet people hear the word recession and they automatically think 2008. They think the dot-com bubble. Not every recession is the worst recession that this country has ever seen. 2008 is literally titled the Great Recession because it's the worst recession that we've ever had. Okay? So that's why it's called the Great Recession. That's literally what it was called. There have been many, many other recessions throughout history that were nowhere near 2008. But people hear recession, it's the first thing that comes to their mind. Most people begin to become very fearful of losing their jobs. I mean, look at the headlines over the last couple of months. You would think that we're going to bread lines and soup kitchens, but we're not. This is simply not what's happening right now. And if you are in fear of this happening, if this conversation makes you uncomfortable, if sometimes you lay awake at night, okay, and you worry about your finances or your job security, and you're worried about hoarding cash, preparing for the end of the world, then let the next statement that I'm going to say really sink in. Listen to me, and listen to me very carefully, because there's no greater investment than one in yourself. Now, if you spend money acquiring knowledge and skills, then you are transforming yourself into an asset. Then no matter what the economic environment is, you're always going to be able to find where opportunity is. Let me say that to you again. If you spend money acquiring knowledge and skills, then you transform yourself into an asset. No matter what the economic environment is, then you're always going to find where the opportunity is. And if you take nothing else away from this live stream, then hopefully you guys take that message away, because you want to know what a real, true recession-resistant occupation is? It's being a successful trader. Because it doesn't matter whether the market's going up or the market's going down. The stock market's always open tomorrow. It doesn't matter what's happening in the world. And as long as the stock market's open, we as traders are going to be able to find those opportunities and be able to strike and capitalize on them. There's a lot to get into here today on this live stream, guys, all right, with the sell-off that we experienced today. Now, listen, we had every intention of raising the price of our membership up to $13.50 today on our way back to $2,200. But this week is extremely important, and we don't want you guys to be deterred by a $13.50 price point. So we decided we're going to be raising the price daily, but at a little bit of a slower rate this week. By the end of the week, we're going to be up to that $13.50 price point. But I want you guys to be able to take advantage before the Jackson Hole meeting at the end of this week, because that Jackson Hole meeting is literally the most important economic event of the year. The prediction that I gave you last week or 2 weeks ago is underway, as the market is selling off again, down 2% today, down 700 points in the Dow. The market is beginning to sell off again. I just asked you earlier, are you uneasy? Are you uncomfortable? You all said, yeah. A lot of people on here said yes. Okay, bear with me, because I want to cover this, and then we're going to dive into everything that's important today. Okay, but the prediction that I gave you, it's well underway. The Jackson Hole meeting at the end of this week is the most important economic event of the year. Many people may be scared of the market pullback today, but we are not. Matter of fact, it's the exact opposite. I'm excited as all hell. I'm like a dog in fresh cut grass. I'm like a kid in a candy store. Okay. But I know that many of you may be frightened or unsure about what the future lies. Don't be. For that reason, we're not going to raise the price of $13.50 today, but rather $12.57, meaning meeting you in the middle, making sure that you're prepared for Jackson Hole. I want everyone to have a fair shot at this. Now listen to me carefully, because the normal price of the TG membership is $2,212. But tonight will be the very last night. You guys can get a 43% discount on the teaching membership, which actually brings the price down from $2,212 to $1,259. Excuse me. I think I said 57. Okay. I think I said 57 earlier. But that brings the price actually down to $12.59. Okay. So when you go to ttgoffer.com, you guys can manually enter the coupon code TTG121. That will get you a 43% discount. It drops the price to $1,259. And we do have 15 laptops available for tonight. We had a couple of them left over from yesterday, and then we just got a handful. So that totals 15 of laptops that are available for this evening. So by midnight tonight, the next 15 people that sign up for the TeachD platform, okay, you guys are going to be able to get a 43% discount, drops the price all the way down to $12.59 before we move it up to $13.50 by the end of this week. All right. And there is no guarantee that we're going to continue to have laptops because we're only able to get literally single digits of them here today. The laptops are going to be a brand new Asus, Dell, Lenovo, HP, or Acer laptop. We cover the shipping. It's totally free. We ship anywhere in the world. You don't have to enter your address to get the free laptop at checkout. You don't have to enter your address at checkout, excuse me. You'll get a welcome email once you guys join with instructions on how to claim that free laptop. You guys do not need to enter your address. We ship anywhere in the world. It's totally free. Again, you go to ttgoffer.com, manually enter the coupon code TTG121. You will save 43% off of the regular price of $2,212. And that brings the price down to just $1,259 for the entire year. But you have to go to ttgoffer.com and manually enter the TTG121 coupon code. We're like the Netflix of trading communities. You guys pay one price for the whole year. You immediately get access to all of our courses and all of our tools. There are no upsells or additional charges for courses and tools ever at True Trading. You get our entire 18-course curriculum, which is a simplified version of what I learned when I worked at the fund in New York. Joe, if you can actually post the syllabus for everybody in chat, you guys can, we're going to post up a link in chat. You'll see the syllabus. So it'll actually show you a list of every single course topic that you guys are going to learn. If you guys are curious on what you're going to learn when you join True Trading, there's 18 courses. Every course has multiple chapters. Every chapter has multiple lessons. But you're also going to get access to $5,000 of dollars worth of premium tools and resources from companies like Benzinga, TradingView, Quote Media, Trade Ideas. These are tools that if you went to the companies on your own, you're going to spend about $5,000 a year to get access to these tools and resources. Don't. We spend years building relationships with these companies so we can offer their products on our platform so you do not have to pay for them. That's what makes True Trading a platform. That's what differentiates us from a lot of the other programs and course, companies that are out there. You're also going to get real-time trade alerts from myself and the 8 other professional trading mods that sport a cumulative win rate of around 80% for the last 2 years, and access to the best damn community of traders and investors that all share that same goal of learn trading and profiting together. TT's a family, and it's because of our members. That's the reason why. And of course, you also do have a double your money back guarantee. Now, you're most likely not going to need the double your money back guarantee, but it is very real. And it exists to give you peace of mind. I did not stutter. Literally, we have a double your money back guarantee. It's actually quite simple. You have 12 months, the length of your membership. Complete our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. If you do not make your $1,259 membership fee back at least once during that 12-month membership, we will give you $2,518 in return. I'm literally dead serious. That's double what you are paying us. That's how confident we are in our ability to help you guys become successful and how confident we are in helping you reach your goals. I'm able to do that because we only have a refund rate of roughly 2.5% since 2016. That's why I'm pretty confident that you're not going to need that double your money back guarantee because we've only had to refund 2.5% of our users over the last 6 years. Okay. But you do not have to, but I don't think you're going to need it. But like I said, it's there for you guys if you want it. We also have a 78% retention rate. which means 78% of our members are actually renewing their membership when their year is up. Okay. So that's why I'm confident enough to offer you the double your money back guarantee. But again, I don't think you're going to need it. We're also 5-star rated on Trustpilot, 1,690 reviews. Based on what members tell us, the reviews they leave, our refund rate and our retention rate, I can very confidently say that True Trading Group has worked for thousands of people. And if you're willing to put forth a little bit of effort, I'm confident it can work for you as well. Everything you get with your membership, it's right there on the checkout page. All our courses, all our tools, all included for just $12.59. You never charge another dollar for courses or tools. You just simply enter the TTG121 coupon code. The price will show $12.59. Just simply check out. Again, there are 15 laptops available for the next 15 people that are going to subscribe to True Trading Group. We're also opening this up to trials, previous trials. Brianna Fountain says, is this a one-time payment or can you do monthly? Brianna, it is a one-time payment because it is all inclusive, Brianna. So once you join True Trading Group, you literally get access to every single thing that we have for the entire year. All right. So it is a one-time payment. We do accept PayPal credit though. Okay. So PayPal credit is one possible method for you to subscribe to True Trading Group. You guys see on the checkout page, you'll see the option there for PayPal credit. You could select PayPal credit. Okay. If you wish. Okay. So it is a one-time payment. So like I said, if you are a previous trial, a current trial, or a previous member, and you guys want to take advantage of the $12.59 price point with the free laptop, do not go to teachtheoffer.com. The coupon code will not work for you. We have to whitelist your email since you already had an account with us so that that coupon code will work for you. Just send a text message to the phone number at the bottom of your screen. It is 786-505-4047. Again, that number is 786-505-4047, right there at the bottom of your screen. Okay. So sorry about the early sales pitch there, guys, but wanted to be sure that everybody was well aware of that offer before we do continue to move on for the rest of the live stream. Okay, so let's go now. Let's get into it, guys. Let's roll things over. I want to start hitting on a couple of main topics today. We got to talk about AMC and APE, right? So that's one of the topics I want to talk to you about today is AMC and APE. APE, the preferred equity from being issued there to all AMC shareholders, and it did not go well today. Okay, this is the first day that APE began trading. It opened for trade today at $6.95 and went all the way down to $5 and is now sitting currently around $6. Okay. All right. So I understand, you know, when I go over this stuff here with APE, and then you go ahead and you take a look over at AMC down 40% today. Going all the way down to $10. Now, you know, I feel like meme stocks lately, you know, for a lot of people is a pretty tough topic. You know, it's like when you take a look at what's transpired over the last couple of days between Bed Bath and Beyond, the stock went from $30 all the way down to $9 in just 4 days. You know, AMC from 27 to 10 in just a week and a half. You know, GameStop is actually the one that's hanging in there the best. But between Bed Bath & Beyond and AMC, I know that there's a lot of people out there and probably a lot of people that are even on this live stream that are kind of caught holding a bag right now in a lot of these stocks. Now, I support what everybody stands for. And, you know, I support what everybody stands for here with AMC. But I understand also that many people kind of jumped behind this over the last couple of weeks and are now, you know, in a pretty tough spot. Right. What happened today, you also had a piece of news come out from Cineworld. Cineworld actually announcing that they're going bankrupt. So that certainly didn't help out on the AMC front. Okay. That actually did not help out on the AMC front. And AMC has had this huge gap down into a major level of support of $10. $10 is a big level for AMC. It really is. $10 is a big level for AMC. You know, I actually think that there could be a trade here for AMC to the long side off of $10, and I kind of said that today. And I was actually looking for this. So once we gapped all the way down today to like $12, I was like, okay, we're getting down to $10. $10 is a big level of support for the stock. And I want to see if there's actually might be a trade here for AMC to get off at 10. But we have to see how this starts trading now with APE, because APE will be factoring in the price of AMC. So, I want to see over the next couple of days how that correlation between APE and AMC, how that all works, right? Like I want to see how does AMC trade in correlation to APE? Does one lead the other? Can you look for strength or weakness in one to trade the other? Is there a correlation trade in there that we can really try to focus on? So that's really what I'm going to be watching and what I'm going to be paying attention to. But it really is unfortunate what's happened to a lot of people in these stocks. I'm happy to say that this is not something that myself or teaching members are kind of sitting in, because at the end of the day, folks, I have a responsibility to our members to actually just tell it like it is. During that run on Bed Bath & Beyond, I told people that I think this stock goes back to $9. Bed Bath & Beyond is not a good company, that is not in a good financial situation. AMC is actually in a much better situation than Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond is such an astronomical amount of debt. For every like $1 they bring in sales, they owe like $6 or $7 in debt. They're just not in a good situation. And I told people that I thought that Bed Bath & Beyond, a lot of people were going to get hurt on that thing, chasing that stock to the upside, because I think that stock goes back to $9. And sure enough, here we are today, now back underneath 10. So, I have a responsibility to our members to tell it how it is. And if you're looking for confirmation on like conspiracies and the blind following of others and diamond hands and all that stuff, you guys can just log off this channel. This is not that type of channel. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to go over, ghost shares and market makers and all of this other stuff here on this live stream. That's not what you're going to get from me. What you're going to get from me is exactly real transparency and honesty about what I think is going to happen with these stocks. And I was very cautious and I was very concerned when Bed Bath & Beyond started to make that short squeeze, because, I kind of had a feeling that this was going to happen. And now with this move to the downside here, I'm actually now looking to say, hey, I actually think that you might get a bounce on AMC off of 10. So, I think there could be a trade there, long AMC actually off of 10 if that $10 level holds. So that is something I'm going to be watching here pretty closely over the next couple of days. All right. That is something I'm going to be watching pretty closely over the next couple of days. All right. So that's going to be AMC, APE, Bed Bath & Beyond. All right. What I want to do here now is I actually want to spend just a couple of minutes going over some things here with you guys on this live stream. Like, I'm going to open the floor up for some Q&A. All right. I'm going to open things up for a Q&A. I'm going to let you guys ask me questions, whatever's on your mind, we can talk about it. So asking questions is how you learn, right? So I want to talk about APE and AMC, but asking questions is how you learn. So I'm going to spend about 10 or 15 minutes actually opening the floor up for a blanket Q&A session. Let you guys, whatever's on your mind, you guys can ask me. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Asking questions is how you learn. Okay. Asking questions is how you learn. So don't be embarrassed or shy to ask what you might think is a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. So I'll let you guys go ahead. You guys can type your questions in chat right now. And let's go ahead and let's actually begin a nice little Q&A session for you guys. So like I said, folks, don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Type your questions in chat, whatever is on your mind. And then once we're done with the Q&A, I'll get into Jackson Hole a little bit more. Showery Jones, second time here. Like what you're saying, but honestly, I feel like joining would hurt more than help because I already have limited funds, any input. Showery Jones, joining a platform like True Trading Group can't hurt. Okay. I don't care if you have, I would rather have $500 and an education than $500,000 to trade with and no education. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your trading account. With no education, you're going to lose it all just the same. It's not like just because you have $50,000 in a trading account that all of a sudden means that you have a greater chance of success. It doesn't. All it means is you have a lot more money to potentially lose. And without an education, the chances of you losing that money is probably around 90%. Okay, if you don't know what you're doing. There's a lot of members in True Trading Group that started with just 100, 200, 300 bucks inside of their account. You know, you don't need to start with tens of thousands of dollars to get started trading. You just simply don't. You think we fill the SPY gap around 411 this week? Yeah, yes. And the SPY gap is not actually 411. It's really more around, let me see here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 411.50. Yeah, 411.50. Yeah, I was saying 412 because you have this level here, but yeah, I think that this 411.50 to 412.50, this zone. So this is the big gap up. This is the gap up from August 10th. August 10th is the day that you had your CPI data, right? Your CPI data that showed that inflation had actually come down. All right, so that's when you got this huge gap up. Basically, the gap fill is going to take you back down to that 412 area, 412, 411. That's a zone that you're looking for. And I do think that gets filled, that gap gets filled. I think that there's a couple of support levels here on the SPY that I think are going to be broken. And you broke a major one today of this like 417 level. That level got broken today. You have a little bit more support in here once you fill that gap. But eventually, I think that this pullback is going to take you a little bit deeper down into this region. So I am looking for a little bit more downside there into this region before the markets kind of find their footing and stabilize. And then you're going to get August inflation data. Okay, you're going to get August inflation data. All right. You know what, guys? There's a lot of questions that are coming in right now from people, a ton. And my partner and co-founder of True Trading Group, Adam, is actually really good at simplifying some of these questions. So I'm actually going to bring him on so he can help kind of throw the questions at me so I can answer them for you guys.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. So, all right. So let me pull up some questions that I saw here. So, so I see some people asking some pretty beginner questions, which is great. So, like for example, Harsh Shah is asking, how far down can the market? I don't know why I said it like that, but how far down can the market actually go from here? I mean, I guess the answer would be zero, but I guess realistically, how far down do you think the market goes from here? Do you think we test or go down to the June 17th lows, or what do you anticipate happening? I know you've thrown the number 390 around a couple times. What do you think?
So I'll answer this in three ways. Two will be more specific to now. One will be more just general for like over time in history. What you guys have to realize is that like when I look at the S&P and when I try to figure out, okay, well, how low can the S&P really go? I look back at the worst stock market crashes of my lifetime, which is the 2008 crash and the dot-com bubble crash. Two of the worst stock market crashes that most people on this live stream have probably ever lived through. And both scenarios, it was worst case scenario type of events. Like everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. And during those recessions and during those stock market crashes. And in both scenarios, from the all-time high down to the low of the crash, the S&P went down about, give or take 1 or 2 percentage points each way, 55%. So whenever there's a stock market crash, I always will use 55% as kind of my backstop for a worst case scenario type of event. The S&P 500 is not going to go down 80%. It's not going to happen. And for those of you that are waiting for that to happen, you're going to wait your entire life and you're never going to make $1 in the stock market because you're never going to own anything if you wait for the market to go down 80%. So I use that as kind of my backstop for a worst case scenario. With regards to where we are in the markets today, okay,
Yeah, just tell us what you think. I mean, there's other stuff I want to get to here also.
Yeah. So, what I'm looking at with where we are here today is I think that this pullback is going to take you deeper. And I think this pullback takes you down to around 390, 395. This is going to kind of be the range that I'm looking for the markets to take you down into.
And then, what happens when you get there?
Then I'm going to wait and see what happens with inflation. Then once we get down to this level, if inflation continues to come down at 40 to 50 basis point clips, like it did from June to July, then that pullback, I believe, is viable. And then you look for the market to then actually push higher going into the end of the year. Okay. Now, if inflation does not come down, then that's when I think you can actually start to get down and you can start to retest some of these June lows. But I'm thinking that 390, 395 area is a nice little area for me to look to start buying up a couple of more stocks in my long-term portfolio to see if inflation does continue to come down.
All right. And I guess the question would be, what if it doesn't get down to 390, but it gets down to like 397 or 399? Like how will you know that it's like when it gets to that point that it's not going to go further and that it's safe to buy that is the buying opportunity? Because you always say, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you always say on here, being a trader, you're the ultimate entrepreneur. If all you do is listen to me nonstop, then you don't have a business, you have a job, and I'm your boss, right? So what do people need to look for? What are you looking for that you could teach to them so that if it get, so people there maybe aren't waiting for 390 exactly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not because I'm not necessarily looking to then add in my long-term portfolio specifically at 390. I'm saying that I think that that's the area the markets can get to by the time you're going to get your next round of inflation data. And really, I'm waiting for that inflation data to help me determine, okay, we went from 9.1 to 8.5. Do we go from 8.5 to 8.0? If that happens, or you go to 7.9, then that's going to be an indication that inflation has not just officially peaked, but is actually now coming down at a nice rate. And the Fed will feel like they're in a bit more control. It is if inflation, let's say, was 8.5 in July, let's say it's 8.4 in August. That I'll probably wait then a little bit longer, because then that pullback could have a little bit more teeth to it.
Okay. All right. So I guess on the same topic here, can you I guess maybe for those that are maybe new here, maybe explain a little bit as to what is happening right now, what you expect to happen throughout the rest of the week for the SPY and the overall markets. Do we hit, so for example, are we going to hit 390 this week?
No.
And I know you don't have a crystal ball, but you've been pretty darn spot on this entire time. So are we, is it, I'm sure anything's possible, but you know what I mean? Is it realistic? Is it likely, in your opinion, that we hit 390 this week? And if so, does that mean, is that, the faster we hit it, the better? What does this all mean for us going forward? And when will we know that it's time to take advantage of those buying opportunities?
No, we're not going to get to 390 this week. The markets are gonna go through a bit of a pause as you get closer to the Jackson Hole meeting. I think the markets kind of stabilize a little bit here in the 410, 411 area, 412, and maybe just kind of stabilize there for a day or two, and then you're going to have the Jackson Hole meeting, which is going to be what everyone's going to be waiting for. So that Jackson Hole meeting, you guys got to realize the people are really going to be getting themselves prepared for that, because that's going to change or continue the sentiment that the markets currently have. We got to welcome Twinkle. That's an interesting name, Twinkle. Welcome to the TTG family. That means there's only 14 of those spots left, guys. So again, you can go to ttgoffer.com and use the coupon code TTG121, and you guys could then be able to take advantage of the 43% discount, brings the price all the way down to $12.59. You'll get a free laptop. There's 14 left. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you know that you are going to be getting one. And then you have the double your money back guarantee, guys. I mean, really, you got to ask yourself, I don't think you're going to need it, But if you don't make back the 1259, I'm going to give you guys back $2,518. That's literally how it works when you join True Trading Group. There to protect you, but I don't think you're going to need it. All right. So if you have any questions about the membership, also don't hesitate. Send a text to 786-505-4047.
All righty. And so let me go back up here. So I see a bunch of questions about like TTG itself, but I want to keep the questions on this. I think this is a really good topic. And every once in a while, Mike and I kind of go off script and do these type of live streams, and people seem to really benefit a lot from it. So don't be shy. Like, type your questions in chat. We'll answer all of them. Or all, most, as many as we can.
Because I feel like, if you have a question, chances are there's somebody else on the live stream that probably has a very similar question too. So I wouldn't really, don't hold back. Go ahead and fire your questions in chat. It's always a good learning experience when you guys are firing questions away.
So this is from Garth. And Garth Algar. That's fine. Do you know what that's from?
I only know one Garth.
It's from Wayne's World.
Yes, safe. That's the only Garth that I know.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let me go through it here. Should we just wait to invest because we missed the bottom? I think they're talking. I mean, I'm not going to answer this for them, but I'll just set the stage for you.
Yeah.
I think that people are talking about two different things. You're talking about investing in long-term portfolio and being able to take advantage of the volatility that exists in this market right now. And, did you miss the absolute low of the year? Potentially. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be dips that are buyable, right? I mean, if you want to kind of take it from there.
Exactly. Very well said. I invested on May 10th and June 17th. Those are the days that I invested in my long-term portfolio. You can watch my live streams. They're right here on this YouTube channel. I told you guys on May 10th, I bought a little bit, like 8 or 9 different stocks. And then on June 17th, I bought a lot more. I bought like 18 different stocks. Bulk of my money went in there on June 17th. Now, I still have cash on the sideline. I'm not fully invested 100% in here. I am looking for more downside off the back of this pullback. And I gave you guys, I did multiple live streams over a week ago, and I gave you a buyer beware. That was actually the topic that we talked about, was a buyer beware last week for everybody that felt like they missed the bottom and then was going to chase the markets higher. I told you, no, you don't have to. You don't have to chase the markets higher because you're going to get another pullback. And, as I expected, you're going to get another pullback, and it's already started. That pullback has already began. So I am looking for, I didn't add anything in my long-term portfolio up here. No way. I'm waiting for another move to the downside where I can then start adding more stuff in my long-term portfolio. And I think you're going to get that within the next probably 4 weeks. This is literally, it just started, and it's going to roll itself out here, guys, over the next month. I think this pullback is going to give everyone that missed a long-term entry opportunity, you're going to get it here in this September to October time period. All right. But in the meantime, the volatility in this market for you to trade and actually make money while the markets are going down and trade individual stocks, it's unbelievable. This is such a target-rich environment where it seems like every day there's small caps, mid caps, large caps, commodities. Everything is moving around right now. It's unlike any trading environment that I've ever seen. Even crypto is making some big moves. This is unlike any trading environment that I've ever seen. And this volatility, these opportunities are not necessarily going to last forever, which is why I'm telling you guys, take advantage to get yourself ready, get yourself educated. If you're still sitting on the sidelines, I think you're making a big mistake.
Understood. Where's the other one I saw? Here's a good one. Oh, no, that's not it. Here we go. So this is from Vincent. Hey, Mike, I know small caps were on fire last week. It's actually, they've been heating up for weeks. But any reason we didn't play SPY puts last week into this week? I also want to expand on this question. Mm-hmm. All right, just from a layman, for those that don't know, do I understand public markets? Absolutely. Am I the head trader of True Trading Group? No, I am not. I run the business side of True Trading Group, which is why I come on these streams, because I'm able to kind of like simplify the questions and kind of sift through them and expand upon them, better. But I'm going to add to this question. If you believe wholeheartedly that the SPY is going to go down to 400, 390, 395, whatever it is, the expansion on this question would be, why wouldn't you buy options now that expire, let's say, in October or something, like put options?
Yeah, somebody could do that.
No. I don't care about somebody. Why don't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that if you're so convinced that this is what will happen?
I'm going to. I'm not going to buy put options after the markets have already dropped 15 points in 2 days. So
I understand. I'm just saying, but if you think that it's going to go down to that level, why wouldn't you? What's the difference?
It comes down to risk reward, honestly.
You don't think there's enough reward if it goes from here to 390?
There is, but there's also a lot of risk of possibly getting a bounce back to 420, 425 over the next couple of days, or maybe after Jerome Powell says something, or maybe after NVIDIA comes out with earnings, and then you're going to just lose all of that premium on your contract while you wait.
Whoa, back up. Explain what premium is on an option.
Just the price, just the value of the option.
And so why would we lose that?
Because of time decay and implied volatility. So time decay works. So the longer that you hold an option, the closer that the option gets to your expiration, okay, the more that time decay is going to speed up, and the quicker that the value of your contract is actually going to go down as you get closer to your expiration date. It's why a lot of times traders can actually be right in the direction that a market's going to go, but still lose on the option itself, because the timing in which the market made its move did not line up with the time decay of the option that they entered, and they actually ended up losing money even though they were right in the direction the markets went. You also have implied volatility. When you get a day when the overall markets drop 2% like this, implied volatility shoots up on the option contracts, and then all of a sudden these options become a lot more expensive. But if the markets take a breather over, let's say the next 2 days, the markets don't go down at this 2% rate per day like you saw today, and the markets maybe trade sideways and they just consolidate, you're going to lose on time decay, and you're going to lose on implied volatility, as something that's called IV crush happens as implied volatility drops on an option contract, and therefore the price of the option drops. So when you're going to get yourself into longer term options, you've got to be able to really pick your spots, and you've got to be able to make sure that your expiration date on your option is far enough away to where you're not going to be spun around through just straight up time decay. But I expect the market to be very choppy once you get down to 405, like 410. I expect the markets to chop around in this region. I don't think you're going to cut right through. Like, see these areas of consolidation, okay? I don't think the market is just going to slice right through this level like this. Okay, I think the markets are going to actually kind of chop here for a little bit and maybe do something like this, okay, over, a day or two, and maybe you get something that looks like this. Like, this is very possible price action over the next couple of days while people wait for the Jackson Hole meeting. And implied volatility is going to go up as you approach the Jackson Hole meeting. The Jackson Hole meeting is going to then confirm the sentiment and confirm the direction. Jackson Hole meeting is going to tell you, Jerome Powell is going to tell you how more aggressive are we actually going to be with rate hikes? Where is inflation really? Is it actually coming down, or are we still really concerned about it? You're going to get a little bit of consolidation there once you get to 406, 407. You're going to bounce around from 407 to 412. And if you're going to sit there, most traders are not going to be able to sit there and just absorb the time decay and the IV crush while the market consolidates for 3 or 4 days. So you got to make sure that you guys understand. Now, you'll learn all this stuff as a member of True Trading Group. Okay, you'll learn all this as a member of True Trading Group. I assure you guys, if you're new to options or you don't understand options, we have beginner option courses, we have advanced option courses. You're going to learn all this stuff when you guys become members of True Trading Group.
All right. So, basically it comes down to, it's just the wrong time to buy SPY puts. even if it's further in the future because of everything that's going to happen this week, it could negatively impact the time decay.
Yeah, I just think you might get better entries like today. Okay, so put options today was a very big idea that I had coming out of the weekend into today, but then you got this huge gap down in the morning where like a lot of the move to the downside was taken from you in the overnight session when you had European Central Bank members. They said that they're still going to raise rates even into rising recession fears in Germany. You got a lot of information out of Europe that really worried U.S. markets, and the fear of rising interest rates came back into the forefront. And you got this big gap down today in the overall markets, right? So I just feel like you're going to get a better opportunity to get yourself into put options to ride that move down to 310. I think the easiest move on the put option is going to be the move that takes you from 405 to 395. I think that $10 window is going to probably be the easiest move of this.
Yeah, and it's I don't want to interrupt, but it's funny you mentioned that, right? Because I don't have your experience as a trader or whatever, right? But I sit here and I'm thinking to myself, well, man, if you do it right now, you look how much money you're gonna. I mean, I don't even know what that percentage is, right? If you do it here and then it goes to 390, right? Mm-hmm. But give me a ballpark. What is the percentage of that $10 move you were just talking about?
That would totally
just give a range.
If you entered it now?
No. If you did exactly what you just said, if you waited till the move. From
depending on the strike price that you go after,
right?
Because the strike price and expiration date is going to greatly affect the risk reward on the trade.
I get that. Just give me a ballpark.
It could be anywhere from 30% up to 300%.
Okay,
400%.
Fine. When did that become not good enough? Is I guess the point I'm trying to make.
Because in order for you to make the 300%, you're going to be risking 100.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, when did instead of someone looking at it and saying, well, I want to do it now, but then taking your approach of saying, we're going to wait, we're going to see what happens with the Fed meeting, we're going to wait to see what happens with this and everything else, and taking a smarter, more patient and mature approach to it, you still have the opportunity to make gains that are pretty great.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, this all goes back to.
I mean, it almost feels like no different than HKD. We did really, really well on HKD. Did we make 1,000%? No, we didn't. But when did 80% become not good enough?
Yeah. No, I crushed.
That's the point that I'm trying to make.
I crushed HKD and still left an astronomical amount of money on the table, but. The thing about, your question really speaks directly to the biggest problem that traders have, and it's greed. And traders, all they think about is, well, how much am I going to make if I'm right? That thought process is what gets people into trouble. I always tell people the famous quote that my boss, who was my mentor and one of the partners at the hedge fund that I worked at, he's the one that gave me this quote, and it changed my trading career forever. And I pass this quote on to members, and that is that successful traders are more concerned with how much they're going to lose if they're wrong. Struggling traders are more concerned with how much they're going to make if they're right. And the question that you have is pointing directly to, oh, well, if I just get in now, how much money can I make if we go down to 390? Well, how much money can you lose if we don't? Is also the question that you have to ask. So just because, for me, being a good trader is not just about, predicting price direction. It's also about identifying good risk reward scenarios. And when you find good risk reward scenarios, that is when you go in and you attack. Just because a stock goes up or a stock goes down doesn't mean that I'm going to go long or I'm going to go short, or that I should have gone long or that I should have gone short. Because if I'm looking for specific situations where the probability of my success is high, right? Like that's what trading is. Trading is about identifying high probability situations. For my poker players out there, you can all understand what I'm talking about, where patience and discipline and risk management when you're playing poker to wait, to push when you find opportunities where the probability of the cards in your hand are the best cards on that table. That is when you as a poker player need to take advantage of those situations. The same thing applies when you're a trader of waiting for high probability situations. But it's not just to find high probability, it's high probability with good risk reward, where you can say to yourself, well, if I'm right, I'm going to make at least 2-3 times what I'm risking on the trade. You don't want to get yourself into positions or situations where you're going to get yourself into a trade, and if you're right, you're going to make the same amount of money as if you were wrong and you're going to lose. That's not necessarily a good risk reward situation. There's plenty of times where I see a stock and I'm like, hey, I think this stock's got more room to the upside and I'm confident it's going to move higher, but my stop loss is really at like a 1-for-1 based on where I'm going to be taking profit on the trade. That does not make sense for me to enter that trade if it's a 1-to-1 risk reward. So just because I think a stock's going to go higher doesn't mean I should be long. You got to identify high probability situation. You'll learn how to identify probability in trades. Like you'll learn the difference between an A, B, C type setup when you're a member of True Trading Group. But then it's also the risk reward component also comes into play and having the discipline and patience to wait for those situations so you can capitalize.
All right, I got a tough question now. Okay. I got a tough question. If you are currently down money in any of the meme stocks, if you are bag holding any of the meme stocks, type the number 1 in chat. If you are bag holding any of the meme stocks, type the number 1 in chat. Again, if you are bag holding any of the meme stocks, type the number 1 in chat now. Let's see. Yep. Look at all the number 1s.
Yep.
Okay.
BB Nation.
Here's my question. Okay. Nobody needs to ask it. We don't need, nobody needs to get outed for not for not diamond handing. Okay. Nobody needs to be outed, but here's my question. All right. If you're holding any of these meme stocks and you're bag holding, right? What do you do? Because, and careful here, because on one hand, maybe you can't afford to take the loss, but then maybe the loss gets greater. Maybe you don't, and then there's the other point where maybe you can afford to take the loss, but you're super conflicted because you don't want to not YOLO to the moon like you believe everyone else is doing. That it's become super emotional and super conflicting, and there's a lot of really good people that have a lot of really good money tied up. What advice, and this is not a quick answer of just whatever, because there's many parts to this. What advice, not advice, but what is your opinion on that? If you're bag holding any of these meme stocks, right? Regardless of what the reason is. And that is now money that is now depleted and just kind of dead money right now. What do you do? What do you say to those people? And the answer can't be get educated, come in True Trading Group. A real answer.
I think these stocks go lower.
Attack it from both sides. What do you say to the person that wants to move out but doesn't know what to do? And what do you say to the person that doesn't want to move out but also doesn't like the fact that they're down a bunch of money?
You're right. It's a really hard question to answer.
And if you like these questions, smash that like button. This is not an easy question for him to answer. He and I are both going to get crap for even talking about this. So if you appreciate what we're talking about right now, smash that like button, man. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things that I will say. What would I do? First, I do think these stocks go lower. So for those people that think, well, how much worse could it really get? I do think these stocks could go lower. I do expect AMC to go back into the single digits. I do expect Bed Bath & Beyond to maybe go back to, 6 or 7. I do think these stocks do have more room to the downside. So for the people that are saying, oh, well, what do I do? What do I do? For my suggestion would be just to kind of take the L and kind of move on and put money to work in better places. The thing I would say to people that don't want to just realize,
all right, well, hang on a second. What if you can't take the L?
That's literally what I'm saying. I'm about to give you.
All right. I'm just, it's.
I just said for the people that can't do that or don't want to do that, it might not be a bad idea to sell covered calls against your position, depending on how many shares you have. So if you own 100 shares, okay, or more of any of these stocks, you can sell covered calls against your position, and you can actually bring in money from selling the covered call and basically create a dividend for yourself that doesn't exist, right? So
can you maybe dumb that down for me?
Yeah. So a covered call would be like, so let's say you're stock holding Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's say you own Bed Bath & Beyond from 15, right? Stock's at 9. Okay. Just slaughtered, right? Things, you're down, almost cut in half. You could sell, $12 strike call options, and take in the premium that you're going to realize. So when you sell a covered call, you're writing a call option, you're selling it to somebody else. They're going to buy it from you. Just like when you buy a call option, someone's going to buy it from you, and then you're going to get that money. Now, if the stock does not reach the strike price by the expiration date, so if you sell, let's say, a $12 covered call, if the stock does not get to 12, you will keep all of that money because the option will expire worthless. So if somebody gives you $3 a contract, okay, and you sell them one contract, you're going to take in $300. Now you'll keep the full $300 if the stock never gets to $12. And you can just keep doing that over and over and over and over again until eventually maybe the stock does go to $12. Now, what happens if the stock does go to $12? Then
1 second. Let's pause on what happens if it goes to $12. You make it sound so simple. Like, what are the risks for doing this, and what is the difference between this and averaging down?
Selling covered calls and averaging down are not. They're just not even.
I know. I know that it's different. Obviously, I'm asking you what the difference is. Most people think, oh, well, in order to get out of something that you're bag holding in, the first instinct is, well, I got to average down. So I think that you just said something that maybe blew people's minds a bit for those that are maybe not familiar with this. So maybe just because I think some people are trying. Yeah, see, the people are saying, oh, he lost me. People are trying to understand what it is that you're saying. And I think that they just explain how this is not averaging down, that this is a completely different strategy.
Yeah, it's not averaging down because you're actually taking in money. Okay, when you sell a covered call, you're actually getting money into your account, and then you can use that money. You can do other things with it. Okay, you're not just increasing your risk on a position that you're down money on. Okay, this is something that you're trying to do to actually mitigate some of that risk. But if the stock actually does go to your strike price of $12, you're gonna have to sell your shares at $12. But when you really think about that, okay, is that really the end of the world? Because you're selling the shares at 12 when right now the stock is currently sitting at 9. So you'll get called away. Your shares will getting called away, which is where you'll have to actually sell the shares. Like, let's say you sold one covered call on 100 shares that you own. If it goes to 12, you got to sell your shares at $12. Okay, so it's not necessarily the end of the world. But if you let's say if you own 500 shares, don't sell 5 covered calls, because if you do get called away, you're going to be getting called away at a loss. right? So if you, let's say, own 500 shares, because you can sell one covered call for every 100 shares you own. If you don't own 100 shares, you can't sell a covered call. Okay, you can't
And
sell a covered call.
This is not the same thing as shorting.
No,
this is different.
No, it's not
Okay.
shorting because you own the shares. You own the shares. You're not shorting. You don't have unlimited risk because you actually own shares. So if the stock goes up, you don't have infinite risk because you own shares. Those shares are there's an increase in value in those shares when the stock price goes up. This is not shorting. Okay, this is not shorting. Okay, so just selling a naked call, okay, that's like shorting. This is selling a covered call. Okay, these are very, very different things. All right, you guys will learn how to do this as a member in True Trading Group. You know,
do you need a margin? Can you do this on a cash account, or do you need margin to be able to do this? To
sell the covered call? You know what? I'm not sure. You guys are going to have to check with your brokers. I'm not sure if you're going to need.
Pretty sure it's margin.
You might need margin but you have the shares to cover. I'm not sure. You guys have to check with your own brokers.
I am almost positive that you need margin. That doesn't mean you need to be above PDT. It just means, that you have to have a margin account.
Yeah.
Or maybe it depends on your broker. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is just, listen.
Oh, somebody says I had a cash account and did it. You can do it in cash account with TD. Cash works. No. Okay. Stand corrected.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think because you own the share, you need margin really to cover, like they will require margin on different type of trades where like your risk is not defined, but your risk is really defined when you're doing a covered call strategy because you're going to sell the shares at the strike price if the price moves higher. And if the stock goes down, it doesn't matter how far down it goes. You're just going to realize all the premium on the covered call. You're going to lose on the shares that you own, but you actually own the shares. So you don't have this like open-ended risk where your broker can't define what the risk is on your position. Right. So, that's why I don't think you're going to need the margin because you own the shares to cover the position. So that's why I'm pretty sure anybody can do it.
And would you say that those are the two best options? Either learning how to do covered calls or just simply cutting your losses and being done with it?
Yeah, because I think these stocks go lower.
It's not an easy thing. It's not, it's not I understand. It's just still not an easy thing for people to hear. Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wanted to hear these stocks weren't going to $1,000 either, but I told them.
Yeah, but and I understand that, but being right doesn't make people, it's a tough spot to be in because being right about it not going to 1,000 or 500,000 doesn't make these people's pain any less. You know what I mean? I think that it's tough. It's a tough thing to hear, but I think it's something, Mike, you do it really well, man. Hats off to you, dude. You come out here and you tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, and you catch a lot of crap for it.
Yeah, some people love me for it, some people hate me for it. But listen, I'm a very I don't know. I'm very methodical. I'm very, strategic with everything that we do here. And, I've been doing this a long time, guys. I've this isn't exactly the first rodeo here when I've seen situations like this in the past. And a lot of people get very emotional about stuff. And it's always the people that have no experience are the ones that get the most emotional about it, but these are the same people that really need to hear what someone that has experience is telling them. But it's funny how it works because when people get emotional like that, they have no experience whatsoever and they refuse to listen to someone that does. It's just, because we got to welcome AJ. AJ, welcome to the family. AJ, welcome, man. Welcome to the TG fam. That means there's now just 13 laptops left, guys. There's 13 laptops left. That's it. So again, the price is $12.59. That's a 43% discount. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com, enter the coupon code TTG121. And you guys will get the 43% off and you'll get the free laptop. As long as you see a laptop in the checkout cart, that's how you know that you're going to get one of those free laptops. Okay. If you have any questions about the membership, guys, don't hesitate. Send a text to 4047. That's 786-505-4047. Yeah, Adam, I mean, I I traded AMC long, just like everybody else did too, but I'm going to give people my thoughts, my analysis based on my experiences and my education as a trader here now for all of this time, and actually working at a fund in New York City and getting trained by other professionals. This isn't something I just figured out in my mother's basement. And I have a responsibility to members of True Trading Group, the 10,000 people that are subscribed.
Why do you have a responsibility?
Because I give a shit. I care, man. You have 10,000 people that have signed up to True Trading Group. TTG, though, True Trading Group's a business. Like, let's not make a mistake about this. This isn't charity, right? Like, you guys are joining True Trading Group because for a very specific reason. You're joining because you want the knowledge, the guidance, the tools, the resources, the information to help you make money. So that's the responsibility that True Trading Group as a business has. You're not joining True Trading Group just to get access to a Discord and I'm just going to bless you with my trade alerts. And it's like, oh, go ahead, do what you're left to just follow or blindly or whatever and trade at your own risk. No, you're investing your hard-earned money to try to gain access to information and knowledge that can better your life and your financial situation for you and your family for years to come by either becoming active and by becoming successful and consistently profitable traders, or even just by making better long-term decisions with the capital that you guys invest in the markets. Whatever it is, whatever happens, being able to do that, that's why you're here. And I am living, breathing proof that this information, this skill set can change your life. I don't know where I would be today if I didn't have this skill set, if I didn't have the experiences and the education that I have. I don't know where I would be. I certainly would not be where I am today at this point in my life. I certainly wouldn't be. I would not be as successful as I am today if I didn't have this. I don't know what path my life would have gone down. I really have no clue. I don't know where I would be today. I have no idea. I really don't, but I certainly wouldn't be where I am today. And I know that. I'm humble enough to say that I didn't get here by myself. I was taught by other people. So like when people say, hey, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of making the wrong decision. I'm tired of getting scammed by a bunch of con artists. It's like, I'm ready to do this. I want to make better decisions. I got to look out for me because nobody else is looking out for me. I want to learn how to do this myself. That I understand the potential of having a positive impact on someone's life and their family's life for years to come. That's a very powerful thing that I take very seriously. So it's like when you're going to join True Trading Group, I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders of the responsibility to help people make money and to help people reach their goals. And that weight and that responsibility filters and carries right on over to the YouTube channel. You're going to sit here 6 days a week and you're going to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours with me on these live streams. You're going to
sit through the same rhetorical sales pitch every single night.
Yeah. We sell memberships on these live streams, but I feel a responsibility to be open, honest, and transparent with these people. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear that's going to help you make better decisions. Like me for it, hate me for it. Honestly, I don't care. It has no bearing or effect on my life or how I'm going to lay my head down at night. I will lay my head down to sleep at night fine every single night, knowing that I'm doing everything in my power to give our members the greatest chance of achieving their goals. That's all that I care about. You want to come on my live streams and you want to talk crap and you're not even a member, I really don't care. I don't even know who you are. Your comments have no bearing on me whatsoever. I really don't care. So I'll come on here. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think and exactly what I think is going to help you make better decisions. Hate me for it, love me for it. It doesn't really matter either way.
People are asking like point blank, and I'm pretty sure that it's because they're nervous, which we get. They're saying, well, should I dump APE? Should I dump APE right now? We can't answer that question for you. Should you dump APE? That's something that you got to determine for yourself. If you do not feel like it's worth it to hold it, if what do you believe? What do you think? People ask us in chat all the time, what do you think about this entry? What do you think about this exit? What do you think about this? Should I buy here? Should I sell here? Our response a lot of the time is, if you have to ask all of those questions, then you shouldn't be getting into that position to begin with. You have to go ahead.
I think, listen, these meme stocks, APE, AMC, they can always give you a run out of nowhere.
Right.
But the problem is people are so emotionally vested in this that when the run comes and it gives them a screaming exit for the bag that they're holding, they don't take it. They think, now we're going to go to 100, right? Like, if you're bag holding like Bed Bath & Beyond, let's say you bought Bed Bath & Beyond, okay, at, I don't know, $25 back in March or April. Let's say you bought Bed Bath & Beyond here, right? And it went all the way to $5 and you were bag holding. And then the stock gives you this explosive run, literally back to exactly where you bought it. People don't say, oh, thank goodness, it's back to 25. I can finally get out, break even. Oh my goodness, I'm so lucky. Thank you, Lord. I'm out of here. I made my money back. I'm gone. They don't do that. They go, now's the short squeeze. Now it's going to go to 100. And they don't sell it. And then it goes all the way back to $9. And now we're right back in this situation. That's what happens. They give you the exit because these meme stocks, they don't just die. They're not dead. They're gonna give you a bounce. They're gonna give you another rally. Whether that rally is gonna be next week or next month or 2 months from now, you're gonna get another rally in AMC. It's gonna have another week. It's gonna get a short cover. It's gonna rally, and no one's going to sell it. And then they're gonna wait for it to go all the way back down, and then they're gonna say, "What do I do?" You'll probably get a rally in APE. APE's probably not just going to go straight to freaking zero. Okay. Long term, I think APE is not something you should hold on to because they could dilute the crap out of APE. And they probably do dilute APE later. I don't know if they're going to, whatever. I just know that they could.
Yeah, so exactly. AMC.
No, that's just what it is. You could.
Right. That's what I was saying. AMC is going to have a hard time being diluted because you have to get board and shareholder approval. APE, you don't need that.
Exactly. So APE probably gets diluted, but that doesn't mean you can't have like a rally when a lot of momentum picks up in these names. But if you're on these live streams now and you're like, oh, I'm bag holding, what do I do? What do I do? And then you get that rally, get out of it.
If you want.
Right. I don't own it. So
yeah.
I don't own it, but you guys, you asked me a very difficult question. I'm giving you guys, very difficult answers.
Okay. So, guys, do you have any other questions you want to know during this live? Any other questions you want to know? Type them in chat. Difficult, whatever, anything. Anyone? How low can Rev go?
Zero.
I think the answer to zero. The answer to that question is, how low can a stock go? Zero. Zero is how low a stock can go.
especially a stock that is in the middle of a bankruptcy, which we don't know how this bankruptcy is going to play itself out. You had news today that came out with the company basically saying that they did not need like shareholder representation at the bankruptcy hearings. Is basically the news that kind of came out there today, because they're basically saying that, like there's zero, like equity shareholders are going to get zero through the bankruptcy. So they don't really even need representation is kind of the news that came out to cause the stock to have this big drop. But the stock is very, very heavily shorted because the company is bankrupt. They have filed for bankruptcy. They're going through a bankruptcy proceeding, and you don't know how that bankruptcy is going to play out. Like, remember Hertz? You guys remember Hertz? Hertz was going through the bankruptcy proceeding. The stock still, had a big run because it was heavily shorted and shorts were covering, but you don't know the details of that bankruptcy proceeding. The stock could go to zero. Okay. The stock could they can just go out of business, and everything can be liquidated, and they can go to zero, and equity shareholders are going to get left with nothing. That is very possible. So when you want to know how low can it go, it could go to zero. That's how low it could go.
All right. Let me go up here. What happened to AMC options today?
I honestly have no idea. I couldn't get an option chain on Lightspeed either. A lot of people were reporting that the option chain was completely down on AMC today. And I checked on Lightspeed too. I trade with Lightspeed, and I checked on Lightspeed, and I couldn't even get my my option chain to show on AMC. So I'm not sure what happened. I really have no idea. Very, very, very strange. Very strange.
Have you ever seen that before?
I have not. But I've also never seen a situation with like this preferred equity that starts trading. And
I've never seen it either.
Everybody gets shares of this preferred equity. I've also never seen that before.
All right.
I mean, I've seen preferred equity before, but not handled the way that it was.
All right. Let's wrap with this. What will we hear from Jackson Hole Summit this week? First of all, explain what it is. What are we going to hear? And what do we do after we hear it, supposedly? Give us everything.
Yeah, tell me what's going to happen.
Tell me
now. Okay, so the Jackson Hole Summit is it's an economic conference for the Fed, and it's very highly anticipated every year, but more so on a year like this where there's actually meaningful monetary policy taking place. For the last several years, monetary policy has been really unimportant. Monetary policy, basically interest rates were zero, money was free, yada, yada, yada. The Fed they didn't raise rates. There was quantitative easing going on, not quantitative tightening. So monetary policy really had no impact or no effect. Fed meetings were not market catalysts because nothing ever happened. There was no rate hike. There was no nothing. It was just, hey, just economy, markets, keep doing your thing, right? Just go ahead, keep doing your thing. Now that has all changed because now the Fed is going through a rate hike cycle and is going through quantitative tightening, not quantitative easing. So you're going to hear which means
that honestly sounds like a weight loss thing. Can you explain what that is?
Quantitative easing is when the Fed actually expands the size of their balance sheet by buying bonds and treasuries, mortgage-backed securities. They actually provide liquidity. They inject liquidity into the credit markets by becoming net buyers of a lot of these different assets and securities. Okay. Quantitative tightening is when the Fed becomes net sellers of these securities. So they're actually going to be either directly selling these securities into credit markets, or they're going to be allowing for other assets to mature, not reinvest into them, and allow them to just fall off the balance sheet. All right. Now, that's quantitative tightening, and all of that brings the balance sheet down. So right now, their balance sheet is just under $9 trillion. They want to get that all the way down. Okay. I think I don't think they're going to get it down as far as they want, but they're probably going to try to get it down to like, I don't know, $6.5 trillion, something like that. I don't think they're going to be able to bring this balance sheet all the way down as far as they want without seeing, some hiccups in the credit markets when they take that liquidity away. But, well, anyway, that's quantitative tightening. That's quantitative. I don't want to get too far off topic. I want to get back to Jackson Hole. But at the Jackson Hole conference now, you're going to get a speech from Jerome Powell. This speech is going to be listened to by every single market participant around the world. And every market participant is going to be trying to pay attention and try to figure out, is the Fed close to the end of their rate hikes? Meaning, is the bulk of the rate hikes behind us, or are they just in the middle? When are they going to stop raising rates? That's what everybody's trying to figure out. The markets rallied over the last couple of weeks because people figured, hey, well, inflation peaked. That's great. Inflation's actually come down. So now that means the Fed's not going to be as aggressive as they thought. The Fed's not going to raise rates as many times or as far as they thought, and the markets rallied. But the markets got way too ahead of themselves. We were overly pessimistic in June. We got overly optimistic in August. And now you're reverting back to a mean of normalcy in the markets after you get this pullback that's going to reflect the wave of uncertainty that still lies ahead regarding inflation and rate hikes, but also signaling the actual reality that the economic situation is nowhere near as bad as people feared. So in June, way too pessimistic that the entire economy was falling apart. Earnings were going to be terrible. Everybody was going to lose their jobs. That did not happen. That was not the case. Markets bounced. Then we got overly optimistic in August that, oh, the Fed's going to bring down, they're not going to raise rates. Inflation's going to come down. Also not necessarily realistic. And now you're going to revert back to a mean of reality. The markets are coming back to reality. We were not in reality in June. We were not in reality there last week in August. Now we're going to revert back to a sense of reality. But the question is the Fed going to slow down their rate hikes? Or are they going to keep pushing? Are we going to get 75 basis points at the September meeting? Or are we going to get 50? I think you're going to hear from Jerome Powell a very hawkish tone. A hawkish tone meaning Jerome Powell is going to insinuate, hey, listen, yeah, we recognize inflation came down from June to July, but we're not happy. We're not satisfied yet because the Fed has said very specific things. They need multiple months of inflation decline. You've only had one. Not enough for the Fed to be satisfied. You've also had the Fed say, we want areas of inflation like rent, wage inflation. We want those areas to come down, not just commodities. Inflation came down from June to July because commodity prices came down, not because rent came down, not because wages came down. It's because oil and wheat and corn and coffee and copper and aluminum and all of these other commodities came down. That's why inflation came down in July. The Fed wants to see other areas of inflation come down. So I don't think the Fed is going to give you, oh yeah, inflation came down. We're super happy. Everything looks great. We're not going to raise rates as much as we thought. You're not going to get that from Jerome Powell, I don't believe, on Friday. I think you're going to get a hawkish tone. We're going to still fight inflation, but he's going to acknowledge that they don't want to go too far. That's important because Jerome Powell, I believe, is going to tell you we're still ready to fight inflation. We're not happy and satisfied with inflation yet, but we also recognize that we don't want to go too far. What that is going to tell us is that if inflation continues to come down in August like it did in July, the Fed will probably give you 50 basis points in September and then pause. If they don't pause, then they will drop down to 25 basis points going into the end of the year. Historically, Federal Reserves have like 80% of the time when they go into rate hike cycles, they go too far. They raise rates too high and then it's too late. The economy slows too much. Jerome Powell is very conscious of this, and I think he's going to give you, hey, we're still going to be hawkish. We're still going to fight inflation, but we also recognize we don't want to go too far. We also recognize the economy has slowed, but we still think the economy and the labor market is strong enough to withstand the rate hikes that we are going to foresee coming. That is going to give you a short-term pullback, in my opinion, into the area that we are looking for because it's like, oh, well, the Fed's still going to fight inflation. But you still have in the back of everybody's minds, but if inflation continues to come down, the Fed recognizes we don't want to go too far. So that could tell you that if you get your August inflation number in September and it shows, let's say inflation came down to 8.0 or 7.9, down from the 8.5, all of a sudden the sentiment on that pullback is going to change. because everyone's going to say, well, we're going to sell off right now because the Fed's still aggressive, but they recognize they don't want to go too far. If inflation comes down again, well, Jerome Powell told us we want multiple months of inflation coming down. If you get another 50 basis point drop in inflation, people are going to feel like, well, now inflation's really coming down. It probably comes down again in September as the economy continues to slow and consumer spending starts to change a little bit as you get into that slower economic environment. And that helps bring inflation down even further. And the Fed pauses and the Fed doesn't go too far. And they let inflation come down to 6, into 5 as you go into next year. And they're not necessarily in a rush to jam inflation back to 2. They might let inflation stay at 4 or 5% for a little bit longer and sacrifice a 4 or 5% inflation number instead of sending the economy into a deeper recession. And the markets could bounce off of that. And that's what I think you're going to get. That's what you have to be paying attention to. I will be live with my members when that speech unfolds. The entire professional investment community is going to be paying attention to that speech. This is the entire reason why we did not raise the price of the membership to $13.50 today, because I don't want that price to deter you from being involved in True Trading Group during this catalyst. This is the single most important economic catalyst of the entire year. Don't try to trade through this on your own. Myself and the 8 other professional traders in True Trading Group that have a combined 100 years of trading experience will be with you live to walk you through this entire scenario, both leading up to the Jackson Hole meeting, during the Jackson Hole meeting, and after the Jackson Hole meeting, so that you do not screw this opportunity up. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com and enter the coupon code TTG121. You'll get the 43% discount, brings the price to $12.59. You get a free laptop if you're one of the next 13 people to do so. And if you have any questions about the membership, you can send a text to 786-505-4047.
Somebody typed in, I just saw it, Jay Stews says, I'm just getting started. Should I wait until the Jackson Hole meeting?
No.
Yeah.
You want to be ready for the Jackson Hole meeting.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait for Jackson Hole and then get ready. That's like, I got
a better analogy. All right. If you knew that you wanted to run a marathon, not that you would, because that's crazy. Who does that? But if you knew you were going to run a marathon, would you wait until the day of the marathon to run it with no training? Or would you want to train a little bit before that marathon?
Yes.
Take it from me. You want to train a little bit before that marathon. Why? Because I was that idiot that showed up the day of the marathon thinking to myself, my fat ass is just going to run. And I mean, I did it, but it wasn't pretty. Okay. So I think that's the perfect analogy for that.
That is a really good analogy.
So yeah, don't wait until it's like the same concept of somebody saying, oh, I'll join TTG when I can make the money to join TTG.
Right.
Why would you do that? You're not going to say, okay, I'm going to, become a pilot as soon as I figure out how to fly this plane.
Right. Exactly.
No, you're going to learn how to fly a plane before you become a pilot.
There's a reason why our slogan is learn, trade, profit, because the learn part comes first. You don't make money. Okay. You don't make money and then
learn how to make money.
Learn how to make money.
So I just want to see one thing. I saw somebody else say something else. Right. Instead of a laptop, when we run out, you guys will get to watch this. You guys will get to watch me run a marathon for free. It's not a pretty thing.
It's a really long video.
Ragu Gambino. Oh, nice Jewish name. Says, Adam. That was a joke, Mike. No, not funny.
Wait, what? I was trying to find.
I said Ragu Gambino says, and I said, oh, Ragu Gambino, nice Jewish name.
Oh.
I said, and I'm Jewish. That's why I said. Anyways, Adam, does TTG take credit cards? Yes, we do. There's monthly payment plans, right? Yes, there's monthly payment plans when user. Yeah, for sure.
That's what we're saying. Because somebody else was asking about a monthly payment plan, and Raghu's like, "Yeah."
Okay, yeah. No, we do not. We do not have monthly payment plans, but you can use a credit card. Yeah, of course.
And you can use PayPal credit as well.
Yeah. Somebody else said, where is it? Rip Dog made an up-doggish comment. You like what I did there? Up-doggish? Rip Dog, it's stupid. Never mind. You're not paying attention. It says, my money, this whole live stream comes on and says, my money says TTG starts selling memberships back under 1,200, even under 989.
Who said that?
Rip Dog.
No, we're not. No.
So this membership will never be under 989 or under 1,000 ever.
Are they asking us to do that, or?
No. They're just saying because we have a bad history of raising the price.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So we've run into, we have a bad history of raising our price.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I'm going to prove a point here for a second. If you're a TTG member and you paid more than $12.59 to join True Trading Group, and you're okay with it because of everything that you've received thus far, type the number 1. Again, if you've joined True Trading Group and paid more than $12.59, but are okay with it because of everything that you've gotten from True Trading Group, type the number 1 in chat.
Wow. Look at all those number 1s. It's a lot of people, folks.
Yep. So, anyways, I rest my point. Have we been historically not great about raising our pricing? Sure, we haven't been. You know why? Because we don't want to price anyone out. We want people to be able to afford this. We want 10,000 members. We want people to be here. We'd also love to get to a point where we know it is worth it and people will be, where we know what our product is worth. But at the same time, it's a fine balance because we want people to be able to afford this and be in here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but
yeah, guys. I mean, just the value of the membership is just, you have people that are paying, far more than that. But what it comes down to is the value of the education that you're going to be receiving, of an actual real education, which is similar to what I learned that I worked at the fund. And then you have obviously the value of all the course, not just the courses, but the tools.
Oh, somebody says, is there an Affirm link? There isn't. Affirm doesn't do memberships. It's only physical product.
Right.
And then somebody asks, is there a point where TTG has too many members? Not annual members, but we did recently turn off and stop all lifetime membership.
Yeah.
So we cannot offer any more lifetime memberships out. We've been saying we're going to get rid of it for 2 years. We finally did.
Yeah.
So that is done. So not with the annual membership, but with the lifetime membership that had to stop. And we stopped it. But annual membership, no. Look, we're far ways away from getting to a point where we'd have to even consider that. You think about it, you got 10,000 people that are part of True Trading Group. And there's about 3,500 to 4,000 unique people that come through chat every day, with a max of like 2,300 to 2,700 at all times.
Yeah.
So, even if we doubled and we're at 20,000 paying members, you still wouldn't have 20,000 people in chat. I don't know why that doesn't. Translate over, but it just doesn't, right? Anyways, point is that I don't believe that the annual membership will ever have to be slowed down, but lifetime membership had to be turned off, and we did it.
Yeah.
Turn down memberships. Adams likes money too much. Yeah, I joke around with our members all the time. I say, the only thing I like more than I said I love money. The only thing I love more than money is your money. But you have to provide real value and affect real positive change in people if you're going to be charging them for something.
Yeah.
Always.
Value is what we focus on in True Trading Group.
So Chuck goes, most people just in it for the tools over the live chats. No, I think it's a combination. We got a lot of people that come in, and this is good because we don't get to talk like this too often.
Yeah. Yeah.
But first, welcome Nicholas real quick, and I'll just get that ready.
Nicholas, welcome to the family, bro. That means there's now just 12, Adam? 12 laptops left.
Yeah.
Guys, there's 12 laptops left. So like I said, we're keeping this price down here at $12.59. So you guys can take advantage before the Jackson Hole meeting, get yourself prepared for the biggest economic catalyst of the entire year. I expect a more hawkish Jerome Powell than people think. You guys want to be able to take advantage of this. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com, enter the coupon code TTG121, click apply code. You'll get the 43% discount. The free laptop, we ship anywhere in the world. It's totally free. You don't have to enter your address. You'll get a welcome email with instructions on how to claim that free laptop. And then, of course, the double your money back guarantee. Yes, I'm not stuttering. Double your money back guarantee. It's actually quite simple. You will spend $12.59 if you do not make your member the $12.59 back at least once.
Yeah, and real quick, just 100% transparency. If you do request that money back guarantee, we're going to ask you for your trading records. We're going to go through it. We're not just going to take you on a handshake on that. But anyone that has submitted their trading records, that has met the requirement of going through all the courses, passing the exams, you get the answer sheet. So that's not like a deterrent.
Right.
Attend one study group. If you don't cumulatively make your money back from your membership, or make your membership back in 1 year, and can send us the trading records, we will gladly refund your money. And we've done it. It's not like we don't do it. We've done it.
Yeah, we've refunded about roughly 2.5%
right.
of our members. So I'm pretty confident you're not going to need the double your money back guarantee.
Yeah, but most people, even when they don't make it back, they're like, listen, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, yes. I want to stay. I want to keep going. I want to keep trying.
And we're like, hey, are you sure? And they're like, yes, just give me another year, please.
Yep,
like,
no problem.
Okay, no problem.
Yep, we've done that many times. Instead of giving the refund, we'll just give you the
right. And that's not us soliciting them or us convincing. That's them asking. We're saying, hey, you meet the requirement. Do you want this back? And they're saying, well, what I really want is another year.
Right. Exactly.
Fine, whatever you want.
No problem. No problem.
Easy enough.
So there you have it, folks. How many you want to see how many people we have here, Adam? They're not.
I mean, there's not a lot of people left on here. Well, I mean, it's still almost 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, roughly. All right. Go. Tonight we had 35% of everyone that was watching tonight was a non-TTG member.
Nice.
Yeah, but go ahead. See how many people.
Yeah, who's still on the live? Who is still? If you guys are not members of True Trading Group, type the letters TTG. Type the letters TTG if you're not a member of True Trading Group. Again, that's just type the letters TTG if you're not a member. Just want to see who's still on the live stream that's not a member. H. Tall, Fiverr Jack Cop, Michael Moss, Mad Money, Free Jeff, Hammer, Holly, what's up, John? Better Together, Maximus. We still have a lot of people here that are not members of True Trading Group. Paul, Essa, Sam, Chuck, Timothy.
Yeah. first of all, we appreciate the hell out of you guys hanging out with us. You know, hopefully you got some good transparent conversation tonight.
Yeah.
Look, Mike's got a script that he runs through every night. We do these live streams. This is how we market ourselves. We don't spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing. We definitely don't do videos of Lambos and mansions and piles of money on the table. That's just not who we are. But this is how we market ourselves. So if you're still here after what is a 2-hour live stream, man, thank you. Thank you for still being here and hearing us out. And,
yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. What I'll do now, guys, I'll actually, for everyone that's still on the live stream, if you're not a member and you guys are interested in the platform, I'll actually show you the platform itself. I just want to answer one quick question from Devo. Devo says, Mike, what made you go long on June 17th? So I just do want to talk about that because, like I said, I very publicly announced that I was going long in my long-term portfolio right there on June 17th. You can go watch the live stream from June 17th. You don't have to take my word for it now. You can literally, it's right on this YouTube channel from June 17th. Go watch the live. And I tell you on that live that I've added in my long-term portfolio. Now, I still do have cash on the sideline. I'm not fully invested on that June 17th low. I also did not invest on June 17th thinking June 17th was the low of the year. You guys can't try to pick the bottom when stock markets go through their crashes. You have to identify areas in the market based on technicals, but also what's going on fundamentally in the markets to try to pick out areas where you want to put your money to work. Any professional on Wall Street that does this for a living, any hedge fund manager, any professional, if you ask them, do you wait to try to pick the bottom? Not one of them is going to tell you to try to pick the bottom because it's impossible to do because you don't know it's the bottom until 2 or 3 months after the fact. Okay. You will never know at that moment that this is the bottom. So don't try to pick it. Okay. Like I said, on that June 17th live stream, you're going to hear me even say to you that I think that the bottom is actually a little bit lower. I thought maybe the bottom was going to be around 3,500 on the S&P. We got to 3,600, and 3,600 was a buying zone for me. So I stepped in, I went to work, and I put a big chunk of my capital that I had on the sidelines because I very publicly sold my long-term portfolio September going into October of last year. And again, I did that on this live stream as well. I told everybody that I was selling. So that some of that money the cash that I raised from selling last year, it's going back into the markets, going back to work. So I always will identify areas based on technicals on the SPY. That's a huge level of support for the SPY, right? This was a huge level, and I'll draw for you why this is a huge level for the SPY. If you go back, right, you go back all the way to 2020, you'll notice that used to be previous all-time highs in 2020. And then when we broke above it in 2020, let me just zoom in actually a little bit closer so you can see this more clearly. You can see this resistance that you had up here. All right, let me do this. You can see this resistance here at this level of 3,600. And then all of a sudden, once we broke above it, it started to act as a level of support. So this was a major level for us on the SPY, that 360 area. And at the same time that we got down into that level, it was the most bearish, most pessimistic that sentiment was. You had hedge funds in the largest cash position that they have been in since 2008 and since the dot-com bubble. You had the most amount of market participants saying that now is not a good time to invest in stocks. It was the most bearish, most extreme pessimism that you could possibly have. When everybody gets pessimistic like that, the markets don't go down. They actually go up. And when everybody gets optimistic, the markets don't go up. The markets actually go down. Okay, so you had max pessimism also at a buying zone for me. And I said, this is an area that I've identified where I want to put money to work. So Devo, I went in there and I put money to work on June 17th. Happens to be the low of the year. I bought like 18 different stocks on that day. Teaching members know exactly what it is, what those stocks were. All right. So wanted to answer that question, make sure that everybody was clear on that. Now, guys, I'll actually show you, members of True Trading Group, I'll actually show you the platform itself. Because remember, when you join True Trading Group, you're getting access to everything that we have, okay? All of our courses and all of our tools. Of course, you're going to get our chat room. Our chat room is where the mods and I share our screen. We're live on the mic. We're calling out trades in real time, giving you all of our trade alerts. We're there with you from pre-market till after hours. Every single day, the markets are open. We're not just gone after 2 hours and you have to fend for yourself. You can also use our mobile app. Our mobile app will let you guys use iPhone or Android. It's available for both. This way, you can actually follow along with what we're doing inside of chat, even if you're not in front of your computer. So I understand a lot of people, you guys have full-time jobs. You have 10,000 members in True Trading Group. Most of them have full-time jobs. So people are able to benefit from this while working full-time jobs by using the mobile app, all right? Using the mobile app is going to let you see the screen share, listen to the audio analysis because we talk to you during the day on the microphone, and also get real-time push notifications whenever you enter or exit a trade. That's how some of our members are able to still do this and be successful while working full-time jobs. You're also going to get 2 small private study group sessions. This is your chance to go through, talk to one of the pro traders at True Trading Group, ask questions, go over lessons and topics you're having a hard time with so we can really help speed up your learning curve and get you started on the right foot. And you're also going to get Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed, live breaking up to the second news alerts directly inside of our chat. This would cost you over $1,000 a year if you went to Benzinga on your own. Don't do that. It's free with your membership when you join True Trading Group. We've spent years building relationships with these companies, folks, so you do not have to pay for their products, so we can put their products on our platform included for free. You're also going to get TradingView's premium charting software. It's one of the most commonly used charting softwares by active traders. This would cost you about $600 a year. Don't do that. If you guys come and join True Trading Group, you get access to this TradingView's charts totally for free. This is the value of the platform, right? All of these courses, all of these tools, all these resources from these companies will cost you about $5,000 a year. They are free with your membership when you join for just $12.59. You're also going to get the Trade Ideas Scanner. This will make sure you focus on the hottest stocks during the day, every day, so you know where to focus your attention. This will cost you a few $100 if you go to Trade Ideas directly. Don't do that. This streams live on our platform every day. You're also going to get ETNA's simulator, which will let you trade stocks and options with fake money, but with real-time data so you can practice implementing what you're learning in the courses. This would cost you just under $1,000 a year if you went to ETNA on your own directly. Don't do that. It's free with your membership when you join True Trading Group. You're also going to get access to, hey, we got to welcome H-Tal. H-Tal, welcome. Welcome to the TTG family. That means we are down to now just 11 laptops. Once we get to 10, these things fly. Okay. Remember, as long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com and enter the coupon code TTG121 to get the 43% discount, the free laptop, and the double your money back guarantee. Chances are you don't need it, but it's there to protect you and hold us accountable. Remember, you don't have to enter your address to get the free laptop. You'll get a welcome email with instructions how to claim the free laptop. And if you have any questions, you send a text message to 786-505-4047. On top of the simulator, you're also going to get access to our own proprietary scanner that will let you create custom scans. The code word for tonight is transparency. If you're not a member of True Trading Group, do not worry about this code word. This is for members only. Members, the code word is transparency. This is part of a $5,000 giveaway that we are doing with members. Why do we do it? I don't know. Because it's cool. It's fun. We like to give back to our members. We give away cash. We give away electronics. So you guys can actually write that down. If you're a member, code word for tonight is transparency. If you're not a member, don't worry about it.
Actually, I'm going to step in for a second. The actual reason that we do it, right? Do you guys see how many, for those of you that have been on our streams before, right? For those of you that have been on our streams before, do you see how many members come on to support us night after night? That's why we do it. They don't have to do that. They're not required to do it. We don't pay them to do it. So, you know, TTG is a business. If they're going to be on here to support us and they don't have to, then it's nice to be able to give back to them like that when we can. You know, that's why we do it. It's money that we save on spending on real marketing, because the best form of marketing is word of mouth, and especially from your existing customers.
Right.
So the fact that they're on here and support us, man, we try and do the same thing right back. because that's what, that's what integrity is. So, and then Paul H, I see your comment. Send a text message to 786-505-4047. I'll put it up on the screen for you right now. Yes, and Dustin Sprague, we already discussed AMC and GME and all that stuff, or AMC and APE. So you're gonna have to go back a little bit in the stream, but we spent a long time. We probably spent like an hour going over it. This is the very end of the timeshare presentation, where now we're going to sell you part of a movie theater, but only as an NFT, and only with Go shares. All right,
yeah, no problem, Dustin. It's our pleasure. Yeah, you can check it out earlier on the live. We're just kind of wrapping up here. But yeah, Paul, if you're not having a hard time signing up, and this goes for anybody else that's having a hard time signing up, send a text message to the number at the bottom of the screen. Paul and anybody else, 786-505-4047. We'll make sure to hook you guys up. All right, we'll take care of you.
What are the specs of the laptops? The laptops are, each spec of the laptop is different. They all come from a wholesaler. What we know is that they are brand new. They're going to be Asus, Lenovo, Acer, Dell, what am I forgetting? Or HP.
HP.
So, and then they will be brand new. And if for whatever the reason something happens, it doesn't work, you send it back. They have warranties with it. We'll take care of it. We're always working with people on that.
And they're free.
Yeah.
And they're free. So honestly, when you factor in the value of the laptop, you're not even paying the $12.59. You're paying, much less. So let me go through. Let me actually keep telling you guys about what you're going to get with your membership, because that what I told you about the custom scanner. You also get dark pool data, right? Dark pool data, options flow, unusual options activity. This is information that used to only be available to professionals. Now it's at the fingertips of True Trading Group. This is where you guys are really able to, where we are really able to level the playing field for retail traders. So you guys have access to this information so you can make better decisions to increase your chances of success. You also got with that a trading journal. All right, a trading journal that's going to track all of your trades, give you statistics. You can see what you're doing wrong and where you need to make some adjustments. You also get a social sentiment scanner. This is going to go through StockTwits, Reddit, and Twitter. It's going to tell you which ticker symbols are being mentioned most on those platforms, so you can stay ahead of the crowd. You also get analyst ratings on any stock you're interested in. So you can see exactly how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating on any stock that you are interested in. There's also insider buying and selling data, short data. All of it's included when you guys join the THD family. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. You get a watch list every day. The mods and I publish a watch list of stocks we're looking at and a game plan on how we plan on trading them, so you guys know where to focus your attention. And of course, you get access to all of our courses. The courses are a simplified yet expanded upon version of what I learned working at the fund in New York. There's beginner courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto futures, you name it. We've got it in text and video format. Whatever's easy for you guys to learn. You get access to every single course. There's no VIP courses that cost more money after you join. There are no upsells for courses or tools ever. They're all included. On top of the courses, there's a video library that's got approximately 300 hours of more educational video content. These are workshops and webinars like how to grow a small account, how to trade more, working a full-time job, how to build a long-term portfolio, just to name a few. And then you can actually attend all these workshops live. We do them every week. You can attend all these workshops live once you become a full-time member. It's time you guys actually invested in something real, a platform that really gives you value, gives you access to tools and resources that can actually help you increase the chances of your success of becoming consistent profitable traders and reaching your goals that you never thought were originally possible in the first place. You guys just have to go to ttgoffer.com and enter the coupon code TTG121. Now, listen, I can't guarantee that you're going to be successful just because you joined True Trading Group. But like I said, I can guarantee you that if you do not make the $12.59 back at least once after going through our courses, passing our quizzes, and attending a study group, I will give you back double your money. That's $2,518. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com, enter the code TTG121, click apply code. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. There's only 11 of them left, and you guys can jump on that price point before we jump up to $1,350, and as eventually as we walk our way back to the $2,200 price point. All right. And again, if anybody has questions, you can send a text message to 786-505-4047. TD goes, I'm actually on my free Lenovo laptop right now that you guys sent me nearly almost 2 years ago. That's awesome. Michael Moss says, is it cheaper if you don't want the laptop? No. Michael Moss, you can just sell the laptop if you really want, right?
Yeah, or send a text to that number.
Yeah, do that. Michael Moss, send a text to the phone number at the bottom of your screen. Michael Moss, see that number at the bottom, 786-505-4047. Michael, just send a text message to that number. All right? Just send a text message to that phone number.
And welcome, Pablo.
Pablo, welcome to the family. Pablo is the newest member of the group. Pablo, welcome, which means now we're down to 10 of those laptops. That's it. 10 laptops now remain. So guys, again, ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code, click apply code. As long as you see a laptop in the checkout cart, that is how you know you are getting one. Michael Moss, send a text message to 786-505-4047. Anyone else that has a question about our membership, or if you're having a hard time signing up, you send a text message to that number as well. And then last but not least, we do have a 7-day trial and make sure you guys are aware of. It's only $3. We charge $3 to make sure that you are, in fact, a real person. You go to ttgthree.com.
It's a non-auto renew trial, which means that when the trial is over, you do not upgrade to a full membership. You don't have to cancel it. You simply expire. It's just we charge $3 because we want to make sure you're not going to come in and upend the environment that we have created in there. You know, True Trading is pretty special for us and for our members and our family that's in there, and it's important to us. So the $3, we know that you're a real person,
Right.
or we know that you're not hiding behind something.
Right. You're not going to come in our chat room under a fake name and just start spamming chat while everyone's trying to make money.
Right. We take that really serious.
Exactly. All right. So ttgthree.com. That's TTG3 for the trial. Again, it's 7 days, 7 trading days. Weekends don't count against your trial. So it's 7 trading days. It's only $3, one-time payment, no recurring payment, no auto renew. Otherwise, you guys go to ttgoffer.com if you want the 43% discount and the free laptop and the double your money back guarantee, and you use the coupon code TTG121. Then click apply code, check out, and you guys are good to go. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. I hope you guys got some value out of this. I hope you guys feel better prepared for Jackson Hole. Hope you feel better prepared for the rest of the year. I know I certainly do. All right, I know I am. I'm ready for what's coming here. I'm excited for what is happening and unfolding before our eyes. I love it. I'm excited for it. This is exactly what we kind of said was going to be happening, and now we're just capitalizing on it on the way, right? So thanks for joining, guys. If you haven't done so already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. You never want to miss these. I'll see you guys tomorrow again at 4 p.m. We do these 6 days a week, so we want to make sure that you guys turn on your notifications. Don't ever want to miss these. I'll see you guys later. Have a great night.